What is up, and welcome to the show. This is I guess it's a Sunday fun day. This is a early edition. This is just a pre-funk, so this is not a news and views. I do have a couple of updates. I'm going to have a little bit of reflections from Magma Fest Day 2 and Linda Fest. Not really so much thoughts on the shows themselves, but on, I don't know, the state of this channel. Again, welcome new subscribers. We're currently listening to Pigeon Pit. Thank you. How are you doing? This is Fire Escape off of Feather River Canyon Blues by Olympia's Pigeon Pit. They're not playing tonight. The band's tonight. Okay, you can see it. Hold on. I have to switch screens for a second. Okay, let me move my head. All right. This band, and we'll just start with a correction. I have gotten this band's name wrong many times. It is not Medici, like they're Italian. That is an exclamation point. It is Medic. Their band is just named Medic. And I've been getting it wrong for not just in this event that's happening tonight, but they've been playing all over town and I've been getting their name wrong. The other band, Katica, and then the Rat Utopia Experiment, I am very excited about. They're playing at the Black Lodge. I haven't been to a Black Lodge in a long time. Someone mentioned it. Two yellow lines and someone mentioned that, I guess the name Black Lodge is... I guess, and so the name is a Twin Peaks reference, but they said that the Black Lodge is Twin Peaks themed, and I don't remember, I haven't been there in a long time, it having any theme, except just punk venue, like graffiti on the walls and like stickers on the toilet, but I don't remember it specifically having I don't know what a Twin Peaks theme would even mean, like pie and like, I don't know, like wood paneling, I don't know, anyway, plastic wrap. But anyway, I'm looking forward to going back there. Boop. And then just thinking about, the last couple nights being out and about. Like I said, this channel has experienced, and in the greater scheme of YouTube, it's nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. But for a channel that's been here over a decade and has had zero growth, we continue to welcome new subscribers. Again, this is more the secret show. Like all the vertical videos that I do live from out and about tend to have the algorithm points them to different audiences than this. And so if you found this, you really kind of found like the secret shit. But this stuff where I'm like just playing my vinyl, I think I'm going to take that background down too. I can talk about what I did and then what I didn't do. What I didn't do today or this weekend was go to any protests. I feel really bad about that. I do want to talk a little bit about Mohammed Zahid Chowdhury. This is a really wild story. I am talking myself in circles, and that's okay. These are all the things I want to talk about, and I have about an hour. This is going to be a shorter episode because I am going to head out to the venue. This is Wargasm by L7. I did not go to the South Sound Fest, so I did not see... I had already missed L7 because they played Friday, and I was like, ooh, I could go, because I had tickets to both nights. Last night, Bratmobile, I haven't heard anything about how that went. Again, I will give a little bit of update of where I did go, which was Magma Fest Day 2 and Linda Fest at Linda's Tavern. And then today, there were protests yesterday and protests today. Today, I ended up just taking a nap. If you were planning to do a whole big thing in another city like Tacoma, and then, wrong speed, and then you take a nap, and then you wake up from the nap and you're still tired, you definitely needed that nap. So, I don't feel bad that I didn't go to the protest. I don't think it, I have been sick. I am better. But yesterday walking around, I was getting achy. Normally I can walk and walk and walk. I was raised in New York. I was raised to walk. But I was actually starting to not feel like I could walk as much as I normally can. So I was feeling the limits of like, I am still slightly sick. And so I'm glad I took the nap. That being said, I do hope, I like to balance both going out for entertainment and also using my time to do. I do three main things on the weekend. I go to shows. I do trash cleanup if and when I can. The next one I'm doing that's organized is at Cal Anderson Park on the 14th from 10 to 1. And then other than that, I may have some other smaller ones. And then protests. I go to protest, and I use me and many other Seattleites. It's usually on the weekends because, in fact, we do have jobs. And we spend our time. We're not paid. We choose to spend our time to fight about things we care about. And I try and document that as well as just the shows. But this weekend, it just kind of just seems like all I did was go to shows. And that's okay, too. Self-care. I did mask up. Oh, right on. Yes. Okay, Wargasm, L7. So Adam, let's talk about Representative Adam Smith. He is, by all accounts, a warmonger, and this is whether you believe in, so you are however hawkish or bearish or whatever. I'm sorry, bearish is the economy. Hawkish you are as far as like what you think our military strategy is. He is in bed with all the weapons manufacturers. This is all public disclosure. He's a Democrat, by the way. This is Scrap, L7. He because of public disclosure laws, we know all the lobbyists, all the weapons manufacturers, all of them, he's in their pocket, and then he votes very consistently for it doesn't matter. Ukraine, Israel, it doesn't matter. It's not even ideological. It's just weapons. Again, Democrat. His primary challenger was a woman named Melissa Chaudhry. I didn't vote for her, but I did notice in my immigrant majority neighborhood signs for her everywhere. Now, coincidentally, her husband's in a detention center. She is, if I'm not mistaken, an American citizen. For sure, yes. Yes. No, and so anyway, I try not to push conspiracy theories. There's no way to prove. It's just interesting that this woman who did speak out against Israel, did speak out in support of the people of Palestine, and now her husband's in a detention center. He himself is I'm sorry, he himself, I didn't even get to this part. He himself is a U.S. Army veteran. Army? I believe Army. He was apprehended at his citizenship hearing. He did all the things, all the people who say, first of all, they say two things. They say, it's only the worst of the worst. It's only the most dangerous criminals. And then they also say, follow the rules, follow the steps, which he did. He was showing up to a citizenship hearing. Again, this is an Army veteran, and they apprehended him, and now he's in detention at the Northwest Detention Center. So I really did, more so than just in general, I felt I really did want to participate in that, and I had two opportunities because there was a protest yesterday and a protest today. I do, yeah. I am saying that with a sense of regret. That being said, I don't think they released him today, so there will be future opportunities. There are also a lot of events happening at the ICE Center in Tukwila, which is just a little bit closer to me. It should be. I mean, that's my understanding. But the same thing is happening to all those. The same thing is happening to all those interpreters from Afghanistan. These are people who are they have death warrants from the Taliban because they helped Americans. Specifically, they are seen as traitors in their own country because they helped Americans. And we're just sending them back now. We're just sending them back now. Thanks for years of service. It's pretty shameful to me. I mean, in my opinion, but opinions, everyone has one. This is 12-volt Shaman by Red Mesa, Albuquerque, New Mexico's Red Mesa. And I am taking off this background because it's annoying me. And again, this is if you're in the area, head on over to the Black Lodge, but don't sell out because I didn't get a ticket in advance. So if it's gonna sell out, don't go to the Black Lodge. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, I'm definitely taking the background down. What show? I feel like this is the wrong speed. We'll find out when the vocals kick in. It is. I'm already certain it's... Yeah. Wait. That doesn't sound right. Okay, no. That was right the first time. Okay. I stand corrected. Yeah, I mean, it's... All right, so like I said, I'm going to talk a little bit about the shows last night, but not so much the shows themselves. Linda Fest at Linda's is great. It's the first time I actually went to a show there. I didn't even realize they had that, like, outdoor patio. That's a really nice little space. My only frustration is that building has some kind of, like, I don't know, it's like a service vacuum. Like, literally the moment I walked into the building, my live stream stopped, and then as long as I'm in the building, I couldn't live stream at all, and then in the backyard, it was, like, spotty, and I just kept having to hit, like, restart live, and it was just really starting to frustrate me and taking me out of the moment, and so, yeah, I am disappointed that I didn't get to share more from Linda's Fest. The secret band was Thunder Pussy, that's amazing. I was going to head back to them, and then I just ended up going to bed. Yeah, no, oh, yeah. I didn't really... YouTube does that automatically. Like, it makes shorts out of videos that I don't know, but I'm okay with that, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about the shows. So yeah, what briefly I showed from Linda's Fest, I showed a band called, I'm blanking them now. It was like a pun. I want to say, like, it's not Grave Babies. All right, it'll come to me. Anyway, they were very good. They were synth inspired, pop, dark wave. I liked them. And then the next band, who's the band I actually wanted to see, they're now called Fan Club, which it's going to be a little bit hard to find you. Anyway, they're just called Fan Club. Formerly, they were called Lysol. I'm assuming some kind of cease and desist letter is involved in that decision to name change, because they'd already released things under that name. They'd already pretty well established locally as Lysol. But that's typically what happens is, like, I mean, that's what happens if you choose a name like that, is it's kind of a test your luck. Like, will you ever become successful enough to attract the company to ask you to stop? As far as I'm concerned, Bright Futures is still called Natalie Portman Shaved Head, but that's just me. But yeah, no, so the show itself was great. The venue is great. The food was great. Though their Holy Not a Cow handmade vegan patty is flavorful, but it falls apart. Like, it's as many vegan burgers do. It falls apart. If you're used to, like, the pre-made, like the Impossible or the Beyond, that's like a solid puck. Like, this is a different experience. This is homemade, but I liked it. It's black bean based. Trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, they were selling vinyl, but I didn't want to buy vinyl because I didn't want to carry it around for the rest of the night. Yeah, no, I really did like that opening band. What were they called? All right, it'll come to me. And then the second show I filmed at Magma Fest Day 2. I'm really thinking about this because I'm really worried. It is obvious from the comments, and I don't block people. I don't. Sometimes I respond to trolls. Sometimes I just ignore them. I appreciate other people in the comments who are either responding or themselves just saying positive things to counteract people who are saying more negative things. So a couple of very openly queer artists played, and it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they mentioned at one point, I think he actually won over even some of the homophobes when he said, this next song's about doing gay things, which, yeah. But so the first, okay, I don't know how to put this in a way that that sounds like, that doesn't sound like I'm shitting on the artists. These were, it was a free festival in the park. And let me say this, and Linda's Fest was free too. And these are true, honestly and truly recession indicators. If I had money, yeah, no, if I wanted to spend gas money, I would have gone to Olympia and you would have gotten Bratmobile. If I wanted to spend ticket money, and I don't even know how much the Minus the Bear, but I'm going to assume starting at like 40 or so at the Sunset, you would have gotten Minus the Bear at the Sunset, but you got free shows because that's a recession indicator for me. That's one. Two, it's a free show in the park and these are the opening acts and people in the chat are shitting on them. And it's, again, mostly for just their appearance, mostly in one case just for being visibly trans, and in the other case for being a gay rapper, which is, I think, for some people mind-blowing, but I'm like, I don't, Lil Nas X, like, that's not, what? In fact, a lot of them are gay, by the way. But here's the part where I start to, I talk a lot about those channels like WTF Portland and I can't remember what the Seattle one is called, but I know it's big enough because I absolutely refuse to subscribe to them, and yet they keep showing up on my For You page. And mostly it's just like people who live unsheltered being loud because they're having a mental health crisis. Let's videotape that and put it on the internet and act like that's what Seattle is. And I hate these kind of channels. That being said, you can tell there's a certain percentage of the people watching my content for whom it's rage bait, for whom a trans artist living their best life at a free show in the park is absolutely something to be very, 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 very angry about, which to me, that really just says, I mean, I don't know. Anyone who's angry at other people having fun, that kind of tells me like what's going on in your life. And it's, tell me you're miserable without telling me you are telling me you're miserable, and I can't help you with that, but we are respectfully going to keep having a good time. Here's some Atreyu. Yeah, I actually love that. And yeah, the Linda's Burger is available. It is not by default vegan either. It comes with a burger sauce that I just had to ask for no burger sauce, and then you can get it with cheese, and you can, I'm assuming, put bacon or whatever you want on it. Yeah, that's great. And I love that. No, I genuinely love that people who are not vegan will have, they're like, that feels like that's just what I want to eat. It has nothing to do with beliefs or whatever. It's just what I feel like eating right now, and it is an option to me. Like the people who are so insistent, like they're like full carnivores, like I don't even, and then that whole squash is an animal debate, I believe that's satire, but I don't, yeah, anyway, the people who are like full like meat diet, like they want, the bun is made out of meat, the lettuce is made, like they layer, like it's just a meat sandwich, and I'm like, okay, again, you're not hurting me, those aren't my arteries, enjoy, but that's, in moderation, I hope. Yeah, that's the best reason to do anything. But again, especially with these sort of smaller or less artists who may not have that much exposure, and again, I'll be honest, may not have had that much of this. I'm not gonna. So at some point, it got me to laugh. Someone referred to the rapper as Timu Post Malone, and I actually laughed out loud at that. And I'm pretty sure they meant it in anytime you refer to anyone as anything as Timu anything, it's an insult. But first of all, this guy probably has 1/1000th of Post Malone's audience. I'm sure he would love even 10% of that. So like Timu Post Malone, I can't speak for him, but I'm sure he'll take it. But yeah, and I got it because he had the bucket hat and the beard. I was like, oh, that's actually kind of funny. And those fucking Labubu earrings. Even that I had to comment. Like I was like, well, look at all these fashionistas, because right-wingers are so obsessed with like fashion. They're so obsessed. I'm like, you're worse than Melissa Rivers. Like, why do you care what people wear so much? Like it's And of course, what's in people's pants? To which I'm like, they're like, is that a so and so? Is that a such and such? Is that a? I can't tell. Doesn't matter. None of these people are gonna fuck you, so it doesn't matter. That's the only reason I don't care what's in anyone's pants because I'm asexual. So it just none of it doesn't matter to me. But yeah, point being, I am fearful that I am exposing, especially these smaller artists, to this hateful. And that people are just using it as rage bait. That people are just, and also because these are my personal choices, I actually am depicting Seattle as a city of like wall-to-wall mosh pits, gay pride events, and protests, which it kind of is, but also that's me. That's not the city as a whole. Like you could also find, I don't know, tech bros doing whatever tech bros do on the weekend and sporting events, and I cover some of that. I mean, I cover art fairs. I cover a range of things. I watched a video of someone who had quit eating meat for like 37 years and they had a burger and they just craved one. I once served a friend who, like, I was like, are you sure? This is when I was waiting tables and they were like, no, I just want a burger. And I was like, okay, I can't stop you. They took a couple bites and they didn't want it. And I mean, yeah, no, everyone's different. And I say, listen to your body. There's actually evidence that different body types are more, and it's really based on how you process proteins. Some people are, and actually other minerals, in particular iron. Some people are more likely to, they have a blood type and body type that makes them more predisposed to being successfully vegetarian. Other people are going to have a really hard time regulating the iron. Other people are going to have a really hard time getting their protein. Though I always say protein's the Trojan horse. Most people get enough protein. It's fiber you should be really focusing on. That's my advice. Most people worry about getting protein, but they usually do get enough. And then speaking of insults, I got dubbed Johnny Dahmer in my own comments thread, and I was like, oof. I think I'm going to print t-shirts. And then someone called me, and then probably the same person called me Timu Jack Sparrow, and I'm like, that's fine, whatever. This is Led Zeppelin with Stairway to Heaven. No, it's not. It's Tripping Down the Freeway by Weezer. You've been Weezered. Sorry. I do love this song, though. What did you pick up? Okay, I'm sorry. The Capitol Hill Walgreens is cursed. I don't know how to say that. The Capitol Hill Walgreens is cursed. This is a new rant. This is the first time you're hearing it. It won't be the last, because I don't know why I've not ever said this out loud. Every single time I'm in there, and I only go in now, especially, like, basically reconnaissance, like, in and out, because it's such an unpleasant experience. Like, I know basically out of the store, I know what I'm looking for, get the thing you want, and leave as quickly as possible. And even with that in mind, in just the 4 or 5 minutes that I'm in the store, every single time, I'm yelling. Every single time I'm in there, someone is being kicked out. Which tells me it must be what they do all day long. Like, there must be no part of the day that they're not just actively kicking people out. And the cashier is just so clearly traumatized. Like, you can see the PTSD in her eyes. And she's just so, like, and she'll just, like, shrug to the security guy and be like, I called that one. And he's like, yeah, me too. But what can you do except let people in the store act bad and then kick them out? Like, you can't just not let people in the store. Though at this point, they're so actively hostile to everyone, including paying customers, that they basically are they don't actually want anyone in the store. That's I don't know how to describe it. The Capitol Hill Walgreens is cursed. I hate it. I hate going, and it's the only option. There used to be it's the only option. Okay, I don't know. Doing my research. Oh, speaking of research, I have an update. We have a Snopes update on the quote-unquote autistic 16-year-old versus the grocery store, and it's exactly what I thought. Like, the parts that are in the body cam footage are true, and then everything else is stuff that people have embellished or at least can't show where they're getting that from, but we'll get to that story in a minute. Oh, AC. Okay. That is a crate. Okay, I was like, where are you going with this? I had to look it up. I saw anal cunt at CBGB's. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. That is a find. We're still listening to Weezer. This is Love is the Answer. Oh, but yeah, no. Speaking of recession, yeah, no, free shows are a recession indicator. 2 years ago, you were getting like Hello Mega and when we were young, you were getting actual Weezer concerts on my channel. You can go back and watch them. They're still up there. I had 150% less subscribers then, and no one was watching, and I'm like spending all my money like to fly to Las Vegas to see Weezer, and then now I'm shooting free shows in the park, and like hundreds of people are tuning in, which is great. But none of it is what it's. And then it's oftentimes, I guess that's the other one that's in the comments. What am I watching? Why am I watching this? I can't tell you. At one point, again, one of the people who had sort of identified themselves as one of the sort of homophobes was like, I am transfixed. I can't stop watching, which is true. He was a very charismatic rapper. And I think I genuinely do think sincerely won over a couple of people. But it was also, right on, yes. I don't believe they haven't been together or played live in a very, very long time. Okay. And then I actually bought these at Bartell's, not Walgreens. But am I colorblind? This color? Okay, I thought it was like a blue. They call this pistachio. I guess it is green. I guess now that I'm like, oh, I guess I'm colorblind. This one I was thinking was a pink, but it's called Sorry I'm Latte. So I guess it's like a coffee color. I can't tell. Like to me that's still like a pink, but now it just looks like, okay. I just bought my own flesh tone nail, okay. And then that's blue, but they can't figure out what it's called. They just called it putting on airs, but that's just blue. Blue nail polish is trendy right now. And I am nothing if not trendy. River Phoenix was vegan. I just recently found, I didn't know that. River Phoenix was vegan. California poppies are the only flowers that grow in my yard, and my gardener cuts them down every single time. Yes, I have a gardener. I know that's bougie, and like, but I don't know how to explain it, the difference between grass and flowers. Like that, and again, my yard is very, very barren. I have no trees. I have 2 shrubs. I have 4 shrubs right out front. And then that's it. That's all I have. The rest of it is just grass, and it's like it's not great grass. It's like, especially like this year, and I've never watered it once because I don't want to encourage it. But yeah, in pet news, I always talk. Yeah, no, Duke and Daisy have their own show where I walk the dogs, and I don't know why people watch that either, but people watch me walk my dogs. Karma, oh, Duke's right there. He heard his name. Hi, Duke. You want to be in the show? Duke's often in this show. Karma's often in this show. Luna is the pet I don't talk about very often, but I love her. She's my alarm clock, and actually the few minutes in the morning when it's just me and her, which is pretty consistent because she's the early bird, is actually one of the my favorite parts of the day. I love you, Luna. Shout out to Luna. And then my milkman, I was talking, yeah, I have a gardener and I have a milkman, even though I'm vegan. But Smith Brothers, they do milk delivery and grocery delivery, and they're called the milk person, whether they're actually delivering milk or not. I always talk about this. It's funny because their website carries a variety of non-dairy creamers and things, but they refuse to use the word vegan anywhere on their website. Like, like they'll talk around it and they'll say like, this product is plant-based, or like they'll use all the other phrases, but they will not use the word vegan very consistently. Like whoever is their social media manager is like you can tell it's like a rule at their company. But they have. I buy a variety of vegan groceries, and then when there were people in the household who did consume dairy, we would get dairy from them as well. But anyway, the milkman left. My dogs were outside when he came the last time, and he left milk bones for them, which I just think is funny. Of course, if he's going to leave treats, they're going to be milk bones. This is Sicko with Spider. Yeah. But I actually highly recommend the Smith Brothers service. It's not, the groceries are well priced. The deliveries is some of them are a little bit high. Like some of them you're paying a little bit of a premium for the delivery, but there's no delivery fee. I believe the minimum is only $20. And I have consistently found at least $20 worth of groceries to buy from them every week. This is Spider by Sicko. Off of You Can Feel the Love in This Room. Just keeping an eye on time. I am going to head out pretty soon. Oh, okay. Let's get to the update. The Snopes. This is a story I heard about. You may have heard about it too. It even made its way into the news, although as Snopes very tacitly points out, those news just accepted social media posts as fact and posted them as news. And that is not journalism. Grocery outlet, bargain market. Please sponsor my channel. I talk about you so much. This should be sponsored content. I love you, Grocery Outlet. I personally love the Grocery Outlet in Skyway. I don't know if they're all decorated with like Alvin and the Chipmunks, the like standees and like Freddy Krueger inside a movie booth, and like I just love the way that store is decorated. It is wild, but also yeah, I love the deals. I love the sense of discovery. I love it at a regular grocery store. You're gonna find the same products over and over. Here, you don't know quite what you're gonna find, and you might never find it again. But you found it now, and it's yours. Take it home. It's gonna make you happy. Yeah, no, I love Grocery Outlet. Let's always talk about Grocery Outlet. Nice, yes. Well, the current federal administration doesn't like him being referred to as Maryland Man, but Kilmar Abrigo Garcia is back with his family. I think he needs security, though. I think he has, like, I don't know, like yeah, but he is officially actually released, which is wild. I'm gonna play one more by Sicko, but I'm not sure what yet. Am I gonna play their? This is Yaya, possibly followed by Closer to Fine. Oh wait, I think this is Closer to Fine. Oh no, it's not. Okay, no. All right. Recorded and produced by Mr. Kurt Block. Okay, so I think this is probably going to be the last. Oh no! All right, oh, it's only 6:15. Okay, I got a few minutes. But yeah, this I think is the last. I maybe have a couple other updates. So the Fruit Cup arrest video. Online users claimed a body cam video showed police arresting a 16-year-old autistic employee who was eating discarded store food. Here's what we know. And Snopes rated this a mixture of true and false. That's their little symbol. And then this is Closer to Fine. Originally by the Indigo Girls. This is the Sicko cover. The video truly shows law enforcement officers arresting a person named James for allegedly consuming food and drinks without paying for them. However, the arrest occurred in March of 2024. That was the first thing that I got right. That I was like, first of all, this story is really old. What is false? Users shared story with inaccurate and or unsupported claims. First of all, they got his last name wrong. I'm not going to say any last names. It doesn't matter. No one's been able to find. I don't think anyone's found the actual kid, though he no longer works for the grocery store chain. At least according to Snopes, the activity occurred between March 2nd and the 7th. They seem to have seen a police report. I didn't see a police report. I only watched the body cam video, and that's where I got, it said minutes into the video, the suspect tells officers he's 19, not 16. And that's, like I said, that I knew was true because I watched the body. Anyone who was sharing the body cam footage, but also saying he was 16, I was like, you didn't even watch the own footage you're linking to. Am I going to do a live when maybe, possibly. It is Sunday and I do have to work tomorrow. I was sick last week, so I really have to work tomorrow. I can't go hard all night. But thanks for the enthusiasm. We'll see. But I will be live streaming from the show. That is, yeah, but that's a different type of thing than this show. In any event, the other details, a man identifying himself as the son of the manager says his father didn't start working at the store in August of 2025, which meant the person whose name and the person who's being doxxed and all that didn't even work there until 18 months after this incident occurred, so you're coming after the wrong person. Again, all this about a manager who spent weeks compiling like every single alleged theft that allegedly came out of the garbage until it added up to some imaginary number that crossed a line. And usually $110 is not, usually it's like all theft is theft. It doesn't matter how small the items are. That's theft if you just want to call the cops on someone. But if you want it to reach a certain level that they were implying, it's usually a felony, and it's usually more than well, it could be, I was like, maybe it's $100, but I was like, it's usually like $300 or $750 or $1,000. It's usually more than for it to become a felony. Actually, it can be as little as $250, but I was skeptical that it would be $100. In any event, it wasn't, because this mythical manager who was just spying on this kid for months. None of that is real. Um, There's no evidence he has autism or any other mental disability. There's no evidence that he was experiencing food insecurity. And most notably, there is no evidence that the food he was taking was discarded or from the trash or otherwise going to be thrown away. These are all details that people added just to make the story more sympathetic, more interesting, more, I mean, for clicks and views, for clicks and views. This is Cardinal Official with Dangerous featuring Akon. I play this song a lot, but I don't care because I like this song. And it's my show. I mean, and I'm not saying that like mean spirit. Like if like oftentimes when people like have negative comments about my content, I'm like, it's free content on the internet. Click away. Like no one's made. No, I'm not. I'm hope. No one's holding you hostage here. And also, if you don't like my content, make your own. Creating your own YouTube channel is also free. This is not what I meant to play, but it's what I'm playing now. Oh, okay. That's just the tail end of that. This is. Me too. This is Dangerous featuring Akon by Cardinal Official off of Not For Sale. Did I give a shout out to Hollow Earth? I'm repping Hollow Earth. They're the sponsor of Magma Fest Day 3. That's the other thing. Again, we're talking about a free festival in the park put on by a radio station who, by their own definition, has a radius of about 4 blocks. That's how powerful their wattage is. They're literally their tower. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. First he said 4 blocks, then he said 4 miles. That's a little bit bigger. But it's not... Yeah, it's a very low wattage powered, and I think they started off as a pirate radio, and they now officially have a storefront, and they're like city approved and sponsored. I think their bandwidth is courtesy of the University of Washington or maybe Seattle University. I can't remember. But I guess that's the other thing. My live streams, much like the music I play on this channel, I always like to say, if you stick around long enough, I'm probably going to play something you like. If you stick around long enough, I'm definitely going to play something you don't like. And the same is true of the live streams. I am sometimes live streaming a band I don't particularly care about, or care for. But it's interesting. It's where I found myself, and hopefully I like the next band more. But yeah, I cover a wide range of the sort of dream synth pop and rap isn't normally. I listen to a lot of rap, as anyone who watches this show knows, but I don't see a lot of live rap. Those aren't really my crowds. It's awkward how white Pacific Northwest rap crowds are. I don't know how to say that any other way. Like, it just feels very strange to be. This is not the crowd I'm traditionally used to being in a hip hop environment in. And I grew up going to clubs in Manhattan and Brooklyn, and like lower Manhattan and Brooklyn and Queens. And anyway. But like I said, sometimes it's not even my style of music. It's just something I didn't make it to the Smoky Brights, but they're not particularly my style of music, but I would have shown them because they're a local institution. They're noteworthy. And I try to expose myself I expand my own horizons by sometimes listening to bands that are outside of my known comfort zone just to discover, maybe I do like this more than I thought. So I think that was pretty much all of it about and then again, the other, and this one is more valid. observations, the family has a $15 billion net worth. And then when you compare that, it has nothing to do with his arrest per se, because if he was stealing food from a corporation, he was stealing food from a corporation. But the disparity between the family being worth $15 billion and what some of their lowest paid employees are paid, and although there's no evidence that he was experiencing food insecurity, and anyone who added that to the story was embellishing, it logically, no, it doesn't, actually. Some people are just greedy, and some people just, they can absolutely afford it, but they're just going to take it because they can. But I'm putting out there. Yeah, no, I'm not going to put it. I was going to put it. Oh. This is Digital Motown featuring Jay Davy. Sunday Fun Day. Yeah, I guess the point I want to make is that there is no way, if you went across all their lowest wage employees across the entire organization, you wouldn't find food insecurity. These people who are selling you your food, but who themselves are experiencing food insecurity, I'm certain that is occurring. When I worked in restaurants, you would get a shift meal. Just the idea of that it was just built in that there's so much food wastage, and that your labor was worth more than the food. The food cost is not the highest cost in a restaurant. Labor is. And that is the most basic mathematical formula. That if they don't offer you a shift meal, and I mean, they could put limits on it. At Applebee's, the limit was $10, and you couldn't order any steaks, even though sometimes the steaks were on sale for less than $10. Again, that didn't affect me because I'm vegan, and also didn't affect me because I didn't eat my shift meal once at Applebee's in 2 years because I don't eat that food. The bourbon potatoes are fine. But they're microwaved. There is no Applebee's food. That's good. I'm sorry. That I would personally eat. When people would say, "What's your favorite?" I would just tell them whatever the most popular thing was in the category that they were asking about. And I wouldn't say it. And I wouldn't lie. I wouldn't say that's my favorite. I would just say is the most popular. My favorite appetizer is the appetizer platter because I get the most commission on tips for it. And also, most people are really happy with the platter. It gives you a little bit of everything. There's no thinking, especially if you're going to be sharing it. It works out. All right, I'm in trouble when I'm rambling about Applebee's. This episode's definitely over. I want to know what's going on the Microsoft campus, especially what happened over the weekend, because those kinds of sort of workplace-based. And I didn't go to the Palantir protest either. Not protest, music festival. You know what I'm talking about. YouTube suddenly cuts the live feed. Oh, I'm glad that no one actually tried to enter I was trying to offer on Friday, on my live stream, I was trying to offer tickets to the South Sound Festival because I had those 2 tickets that I knew I wasn't going to use. And then I realized because the event had already started, I don't think I could have transferred the tickets over anymore. So I'm glad I realized that you have to do that in advance. And once the event has started, you can't do that. So I need to think about that when I'm thinking about transferring tickets. But I tend to get a lot of free tickets through this program that I'm affiliated with. And I try and give them away when I can. Oh, another recession indicator. I'm writing smaller. This is kind of a silly one, but literally, I don't want to I write these little notes for the show, and then my handwriting is getting smaller because I want to use up less paper. It's not on purpose, but I was like, oh, this is kind of a recession indicator. Oh, I was talking about my cats earlier. This is a milestone. Karma and Luna booped each other twice, like while I was during their morning feeding, and it was yeah, no, they didn't because they these cats fight. They like physically like fight. Um, no, that was and then they I don't know, uneasy truce. I'll let you know how that goes. Um, And then this, I don't know if I'm probably making this up. I don't think this actually happened. I think I talked my cat out of going outside. I explained to her yesterday when I was going out to various music festivals. She went to the door, and I sometimes, especially at nighttime, I try not to let her outside. But at this time of day, technically, I was like, "You can be outside," but I said, "I'm going to be gone." I'm explaining this to a cat in full conversational English. I'm going to be gone all day. It's really hot outside. Um, you make your own choices. And I'm holding the door open, and she looks at me and she goes like meow, like this really uncertain little meow. And I just kept holding the door, and she kept staring at me. And I said, "You seem unsure." And I slowly closed the door because she knows, like, and this is why I talk a lot about it. Like I actually wish she was an indoor cat. Their life expectancy is longer and blah blah blah. But I can't keep her inside. She's gonna get out if she's gonna get out. So, but I'm slowly closing the door because I know she can squeeze past quickly if she wants to. No, she chose to stay inside. I think it's also because the dogs were inside and like she goes where they are. But still, I felt like it felt like a milestone. Like I actually literally like talked my cat into something, and I don't actually think that's what happened. I definitely don't believe she understood the words. But I'm like, did she get my tone? I don't know. Like yeah, I don't know if there's anything there. Um, oh, the official account of the Democrats or like we hate the rebrand too of Cracker Barrel. I guess every yeah no me and then of course my take is going to be not rooted in yeah no I don't know I still don't I do kind of understand how it's woke. If you're like how is the Cracker Barrel design woke? um it's universal basic design. Any of those designs, and especially you can see like the Meta or the Google logo, they become more generic over time. They go from like serifs to sans serifs. And part of it is to make it more readable in the digital realm, especially when you're talking about like a small logo the logo gets reduced down to just a few pixels. They want something that's really legible, something that has a lot of like literally the image of the old man with the barrel that's been removed from the old Cracker Barrel. That's really hard with just a couple of pixels. But also, and here's the part where technically, if you're like, how is that woke? It does benefit people like myself who are visually impaired, who like people who have visual discernment. Logos that are cleaner or clearer is actually, and it's called universal basic design. And there are certain things like just using a slightly larger font size, using again sans serifs versus serifs, not putting a background. If you have just if you have like you see a lot of bad local advertising where you have a pattern background with text overlay, and it's like that is just not friendly to people who have like visual impairments. But again, this isn't me defending it, but this is me saying I understand where the Cracker Barrel logo is coming from. I don't like the generification of all logos, but it does, yeah, from an ableism standpoint, it does benefit. It does benefit people, and so it is. Therefore, it is woke, and I actually don't hate it. That's the other thing. Like I guess left, right, and center, everyone's like united again around hating it, and I just can't hate it. It's fine. It is what it is. And then I'm calling this a scam alert. This is officially it. So Lexon, they're a electronics company. They partnered with Jeff Koons, the artist. He's famous for a variety of things, celebrity portraiture, and like I don't know, but mostly he's like pop art. He's kind of like Andy Warhol, but with a little bit more shock value and a little less taste. I don't know how to describe Jeff Koons. Anyway, Lexon is now again, this is why I'm calling it a scam, again offering quote unquote pre-orders on a quote unquote drop of limited edition Jeff Koons lamps and balloon speakers. And I don't know how many of them they've produced. I don't know what limited edition means to them, but what I do know is at $750 each, limited edition, they have produced more balloon dog. I guess that's his famous. Oh, do I have to get my balloon? Oh, all right. I'm going to play one more song. I'm going to get my balloon animals, and this will be the end of the show. Okay, that was going to be my last story, but I have one. I have a brief one. I'm going to play Frankie Lyman. That video of Frankie Lyman performing, and they're like, "This is what white women thought of black music in the '50s." It's mislabeled. So what's interesting is they were told for whatever reason by the producers of the show, and that might be the racism. Don't react. Don't. This is not Why Do Fools. This is I Am Not a Juvenile Delinquent. So what's interesting, and if you know the true context of the video, you can see them. They want to bop, they want to dance along, but they're looking up at the camera because they are being watched, and because they were told for whatever reason, don't react. And I guess this might be because it was the Beatles era where this is not okay. Is this I'm Not a Know-It-All? This is I'm Not a Know-It-All. In any event, that video is mislabeled. And again, probably with the best of intentions. Look at how bad racism is, but you're looking for it when it's not there, and that's something that people get accused of. So don't Jussie Smollett this shit. Don't do that, because that makes their claims that happens more valid. Okay, I can't find my balloon animal, so we'll have to save that for another time. Nonetheless, I will finish my scam alert. Whatever they're calling a limited edition, my estimation is they have produced more balloon lamp dogs and balloon dog lamps and balloon dog speakers than people are willing to pay $750 for, which is why they have to keep announcing pre-orders. I'm like, and create, this it is officially a scam because they're calling it drops, and I'm like, no, this has been for sale for months. And this also makes me think of Pogs coming back. Pogs are back, and I got excited because I like Pogs. Oh, I put a blanket down and my dog immediately jumped on it. Oh, that's sweet. I didn't put that there for you. I was just looking for the blue. Okay, you can have it. No, that's yours to relax on now. He looks caught. But yeah, no, you are live on the internet, but you're fine. But yeah, no, Pogs. Anyone who knows. I love Pogs, and I was like, ooh, Pogs are back, officially licensed, cool. They're only available, and at least I know the edition of this one, 5,000, and that is way more people than are willing to pay $120 for a box of cardboard, because that's all they come. It's only available in a box set, and they're like blind boxes, and 1 in 10 chance of getting a gold plated one or whatever. But no one wants $120 Pogs. You should have just released them into gas station. Okay, he's done. Yeah, Pogs was a game they want to bring it back for middle-aged collector market, and I'm like, Pogs was a game played in elementary school, reset, when someone so clearly doesn't know their own product. But again, they're a juice company, so whatever. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna head out to the show. I'll let you know how it goes.